How's it going, everyone? My name is Super Saiyan Goomba, and here's a topic that I haven't seen a lot on YouTube, but I've always wanted to do it. It's why Tien can kick more ass than you think. So, as it's stated in Dragon Ball, when he was training with Master Shin, it said that he heavily devoted himself to his martial arts skills and his, discipline. And alone, that's pretty good, but that doesn't really compare because Krillin, Goku, Yamcha, a little bit of Yamcha, they all devoted themselves to their martial arts. But then Tien starts showing how much potential he has and how strong he really is when he was able to teach himself the Kamehameha wave and the Tri-Beam. Well, considering that the Kamehameha wave took Roshi 50 years to maybe create, but still, everyone else had help from Master Roshi learning how to do the Kamehameha. Tien was the only one that, well, it's really, like Gohan and Goten. Tien was the only one that taught himself how to use the Kamehameha. And with the Tri-Beam, it was such a powerful attack that it took away a part of the user's life every time he used it. Now, an attack that powerful, even stronger than the Kamehameha, I think that it takes pretty amazing amounts of skill just to be able to teach that to yourself. And then later in the series, when we see him at the 22nd World Martial Arts Tournament, I believe, when he was fighting Mercenary Tao when he was converted into a cyborg. And they stood there, not doing anything for the longest time, because Mercenary Tao stated that he could not find an error in Tien's position. That showed that Tien had perfect offense and defense within his position. And, I also want to say this before I forget. In Dragon Ball Z, almost every time we see Tien, he's training with Chaozu. That shows how devoted he is to his work in martial arts. And then when we see him in the Saiyan Saga, he knows that he would not stand a chance against Nappa. But after Chaozu blows himself up with Nappa, then we see Tien kind of go ballistic and start attacking Nappa, even though he has the idea in the back of his mind that he knows that he won't win. And then even when Nappa cuts off Tien's arm and he gets disarmed, Team 4-star joke, he still continues to take on Nappa with all he has, and even tries to fire a Tri-Beam with one hand. That shows how much determination that Tien can have and how much courage he has for facing up against strong opponents. And now I want to go on to Tien's best moment, which was in the Imperfect and Semi-Cell Saga. When Tien went to go help Android 18 and attack Cell, he kept firing multiple Tri-Beams. And I want to say this just for now. Krillin, too much of a puss to go up against Cell, but Tien, he had the courage to go up even though he knew that he'd die. But anyway, Tien used a thing that we all call Neo Tri-Beam, which knocked Cell into a giant hole that he created with that move. And then as he kept attacking, he kept increasing the power and expanding the hole larger and larger, which showed that Tien had more control over the Tri-Beam and was stronger than most people thought. And when he was fighting Imperfect Cell 2, most people don't remember this, but Cell was actually getting it seemed like he was getting the wind knocked out of him with each Tri-Beam. I mean, the humans aren't the strongest, but considering that Cell is Cell, and Tien was even knocking the wind out of him, that's still really impressive on its own. And he was able to keep that up for a very long time, which shows that Tien also has insane amounts of energy reserves. And now in the Buu Saga, Tien was able. I know it doesn't seem like much, but you got to think about it. Buu tanks and his strength, his almighty strength, Tien was able to deflect and redirect one of his larger energy blasts. And even later, when Bootanks was firing at Tien, he may have just been playing with Tien, but Tien was able to dodge all of his energy attacks. You know, until he got split in half, and then he just kicked Tien out in one move, but Majin Buu's Majin Buu. So if we look at all these facts, how can we just say that Tien is like, oh yeah, it's just Tien, just brush him off? Tien has an insanely high power level, even for the Z fighters, well, humans anyway. This is why I believe that Tien is the strongest human. He devotes his entire life to martial arts and having his skills, while Krillin slacks off and has a wife. Yamcha quit martial arts, and Chaozu is just Chaozu. So Tien would have had the most progress out of all of them. And Tien being able to fire that many tri-beams in one continuous move and keep holding Cell back and knocking the wind out of him and doing minor damage, like very, very minuscule, it shows that Tien is actually a lot stronger than everyone thinks. So this is why I place him around, in the end of Z, I place him between the power of semi-perfect Cell and perfect form Cell. Not perfect full power Cell, just perfect form. I think he's leaning a little closer to perfect Cell. Like, he could put up a good fight against perfect Cell at the end of Z. So these are the reasons why I think that Tien is that strong. I think he should have been included more in the Dragon Ball Z series, but I know a lot of people don't like Tien, but he's still the strongest of the humans. If anyone disagrees with me, I'd like you to comment or whatever. I'd like to hear what you guys think about this. Any other details I'd like to know. But yeah, I think Tien's strongest human. Simple as that. These are my reasons. This is why Tien can kick so much ass. See ya. Peace.